Okay, guys. So this is the first trial episode, if you like, of the Unedited Run Talk. So with me, I've got Matt. A lot of you guys will know. Obviously, Matt is running the Renegade Runners, and myself. I'm trying to get back into the running game, but at the minute, I seem to be either getting ill or injured every 5 minutes. So I'll try and run, but yeah, I still enjoy it. Obviously, Matt, how's your week been so far? I mean, because I've seen in the Instagram and Facebook posts that your week's been good.
Yeah, very good this week. Had a good track session on Wednesday on my own. Helped a mate do pretty much his 10k PB on Thursday, 37 minutes. Ran with one of our little 9-year-old girls yesterday, ran 25 minutes for 5k. And then
Nice.
today I was pacing Louis I'm running the marathon with. He was trying to break 17:20 on the Hunstanton Seafront at 8 o'clock this morning. He went and ran 16:38, and it was only in the headwind I managed to think, well, he's well under 17. I'll try and crack on myself, and did 16:25, which equaled my best this year. So pleased with that.
Absolutely, there's some insane times, mate. I think it's for you. Is it just more the consistent training that you're getting in? Because obviously,
probably, the extra miles. I think.
Yeah, I think the consistency is the thing for me at the minute. I mean, I think for me, I've done a week after this virus, not that one, by the way. I had a week of just running easy on the treadmill, and I'm starting to feel a lot better. But I think obviously going into the second week of it, it's going to be that's going to be the trial, isn't it? Just see how it goes into the second week. If it still feels like it's getting easier, you can try and up it a little bit. But like I say, I'm just weary of pushing too hard too soon at the minute.
Yeah, I think sometimes we run ourselves down to empty, like when you're doing your marathon training, and these viruses can just take over and take hold, and it does take a long time to get back from them. So
no, exactly. I think and that's just something that I've in the past I've done. I think I've just literally run myself into the ground and not listen to the body. I think every coach or every person I've run with, and I've even had the cheek of actually saying that to people, and I just don't do it myself. It's just you run yourself into the ground, and there's just no coming back from it. And I think that's what I did after pulling out halfway in Essex a few weeks ago now. But yeah, that's certainly what happened to me. But no, I think you've got an incredibly good group of runners there, haven't you? I mean, there's some real good ones coming through. I think Mitch is looking promising, isn't he?
Yeah, very much so. He's 18. He can go as far as he likes, really. He's done, since the past year, he's just phenomenal how much he's come on. And he's just going to get better. And he's great to train with as well. Helps me, keeps me motivated as well, trying to get on his heels on the track. Yeah, he's got incredible pace. When we do the shorter stuff, I just can't get anywhere near
him. That's it. And I think he'll need to use you. He'll need to use you to get his distance up, because I think he'll be at that age now where actually he'll need to get them real serious distance reps in.
Yeah, he's entered Manchester Marathon as well, so he's got that to train for. So
has he really? Wow, that's I didn't expect that.
No, he's going to go at a young age, which is good. And his young lady, Cassie, who runs with us, she's doing the same. Sorry, I said Manchester. I meant Yorkshire.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Lisa doing Manchester, yeah. So, that'd be good to see how they do over the summer with the long runs.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I need something to train for. I mean, you've obviously had your the Boston with Louis to train for. I need to find something new now. I don't know what I'm going for, if I'm honest. I think, like I say, I've kept in my mind. Well, you got the normal road races, you got track, cross country, and then you've got obviously a marathon. But I think I don't know. I think the cross country is really sticking out, because obviously you can you you can do that. It's a very good off season thing, if you like. Also, you can actually get good competition, good running in, and hopefully see where I am come January when the champs are.
Yeah, I think like ourselves, we've been around years. We've done pretty much everything at some point. It's now sort of thinking, what do you actually enjoy doing, and then work towards that.
Yeah, and I think someone said to me that actually, the last few weeks, look, just get back on the track, Steve, because I think, whenever I do a track session, I always seem, if I really nail it, then even at St Albans, I'm in the front group, no matter where, no matter kind of how I've gone on the road or anything like that. I always seem to nail it on the track, so I might give that a go again. I don't know. I'm just going to play as it goes, really.
Yeah, being around other people like I felt today, I've done a lot of 5Ks on my own, but actually having someone beside me again after so long just makes such a difference. And yeah, just being in the training group with someone that might just push you back on, and all of a sudden you might think, yeah, I'm getting somewhere again. So
yeah, I don't remember the last time I trained in the group, and that sounds quite sad, really. I think everyone's kind of had their own. I mean, yeah, you've run on your own. I mean, which you had to in lockdown. It's kind of, it was the law, wasn't it? But actually, now that you're actually able to run in groups again, it's certainly after a couple of weeks of just making sure I'm comfortable. It's just a case of let's get the right group. Let's go out, easy runs. I think probably the easy runs is probably where I'd benefit from it as well. Yeah, you obviously push yourself on the track, but I think the easy runs I'd benefit from it as well, because there's some very good runners who are very good at pacing themselves on an easy run. I'm crap. I'm absolutely crap at going easy, and that sounds, I don't know about you, but that sounds quite bad that you can't go on an easy run.
Today's a prime point. Did the 5K and then thought, well, I'll chuck in another 7.5, 8 miles after. So I've done 7 miles, rather nice. And then I see someone on a bike who I know, and he said, are you going to keep with me? And then I think they're just ahead of me, so I just chase them, and then I'm on the seafront and I'm past them. And I said, oh, that took you a while to catch you. It's just like red rag to a bull, where I just couldn't just hold back and just think, no, they're on a bike, let them go. I just thought, I just find it so hard to keep down. So it's nice to run with others, pace others, and then that actually does keep you more controlled, because it's so easy just to do too much too quick.
Yeah, definitely, and that's certainly what I've got to kind of keep in check. But how are them? I mean, obviously we're going to go into this a few episodes down the line, I reckon. I think we're going to have a whole episode on it. But how are them new shoes treating you?
New shoes, I've worn them a couple of times, and so far I would say it just takes a lot of fatigue out your legs. I've noticed so far.
Yeah.
Where you're doing a rep or an effort, sort of like, I
mean, have you actually felt a difference when it comes? So you have you actually had that look at your watch and go, oh, hang on a minute, or is it just a case of actually it's a lot easier on your legs?
Yeah, that's the legs so far. I need to actually go and just blast one at me own, push myself really hard, and then see.
Yeah, but Boston,
a real benefit.
Boston, mate.
I think because they're obviously doing a pace and job, it would probably do my legs good. But at the end of the day, these trainers aren't cheap, and you think, oh, I should save them for like.
No, I know what you mean, mate.
Because you just don't know whether they could wear out after 200 miles or whatever.
Yeah, it's a fair point. You just don't know. I mean, you pay a hell of a lot of money for them, and you're conscious of actually not doing it. I mean, I've been tempted, but I think without going too much into it, but I think I've been tempted by them. Let's put it that way. But I think let's get some standard. Let's get some standard. Yeah, let's get some standard miles in first, and then we'll go from there.
So a few weeks down the line, we could sort of give a honest opinion on them and what difference they've made.
No, absolutely. And I think I mean, obviously going from shoes into clothing and all that, I think probably the best time, I mean, obviously we about half an hour prior to this, I thought we need to change the content, because obviously the passing of Ron Hill, I think I don't know about you, but he was kind of a massive inspiration for me in the terms of actually, yeah, you look at his achievements actually in like Olympic Games, European Games and stuff like that, but actually it was a lot of his after career as well, where he was just running and stuff like that. And I mean, that was that streak he done. I mean, I'll go into the facts in a minute, but he done that running streak where he was just so many days just consecutive running. It was just in his blood and all that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what he was like to you, Matt, but I mean, for me, he was just a massive inspiration. He was kind of like he touched all generations, if that makes sense.
We see a lot of running people who stars who do really well. They'll go into media and stuff like that, but it's very rare you see someone who actually goes into the crowd and just goes back to being a normal runner, and obviously can't perform anywhere near what he used to, but he just got that love of running where I mean, he'll tell me the exact figures. I haven't looked him up. I think it was like 51 years running every day.
Yeah, absolutely. You weren't far off. I mean, I'll go straight into that fact if you want. So from 20th of December 1964 to the 30th of January 2017, so that's 52 years and 39 days, he ran consecutively, and he was quite adamant that he had to run at least a couple of miles for that to be classed as a run. And I think, wow, I mean, consecutive days. I mean, I can't run. I don't think I can run like 4 consecutive weeks in a minute. Does that make sense? You know, it's just you put that into.
Life and accidents got in the way. I mean, he got run over once, was in hospital with a punctured lung, discharged himself, and still got a running. Just incredible. Just to keep that strength going.
And the only kind of thing that stopped him in 2017. So that basically what he said was that he started to feel some real bad chest pains, and I think he'd already had a few words with his family and all that about it, because they were getting concerned about the amount of running he was doing at his age at the time. And I think there were signs that he was starting to get ill then as well. So I think they'd expressed some concerns, but yeah, he only stopped because of the concern that he wanted to carry on, as you do, you know. It's but yeah, I mean, what an amazing stat that is. 52 years and 39 days consistent running. It's madness.
Yeah, I actually met him at the Manchester Marathon in 2013.
Yeah,
and there's a guy in his 70s standing there, and he's just in awe. It's like, oh, it's Ron Hill. And it's just like, when I remember running in, and he stands, I've got a picture of me finishing, and it's the back shot of him, and he was just standing there clapping every runner in.
Yeah, and I think I've met him once as well. I think he just has that aura when you go into running, because I met him at a running event for the police when I was in it. I just met him there, and he just had everyone silent, because you know how things get at after parties. They just say, everyone starts to get drunk and stuff like that. But it went silent. Everyone listened to him, and it was one of these where he's just going to stick in your mind. But yeah, I mean, let me just run through some achievements that he's done, because I looked and I didn't know that it was this many, if I'm honest. So we talked about that night, from the 20th of December 1964 through to January 2017. So that stat actually included the start of his like proper running career, if you like. So the ones that are documented for his achievements. So I mean, Tokyo 1964, he finished 18th in the 10,000 meters and 19th in the marathon. So I mean, this was going through his real prime career as well, and he was running every day, and that makes it even more incredible. I mean, 1966. So quite a famous year for sport in England, but he managed to sneak in. He managed to sneak in a 12th place at the European Marathon. So I'm not sure if that would have got as much coverage as it deserved, really. But because obviously with World Cup going on. Then he's progressively got better. So 1968, he was at Mexico City, 7th, 10,000 meters. And then 1969 was his breakthrough one, because he won the first, his first European Championships marathon. That was the Athens. So that was the actual course from like Marathon to Athens, if you like.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then 1970 he just got through strength to strength. So he won the Boston Marathon in 2:10:30. So at that time it was a course record, and he smashed it by 3 minutes. Can you imagine smashing a course record by 3 minutes now?
And you think like he's probably running in plimsolls and there's no
Yeah.
science, nothing thrown in like there is these days. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hype
the
a
old
lot.
string vests and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just literally. Yeah, and that's probably why he even went into that clothing market later on. But still,
Mm.
that's just incredible when you think of it, how he's run that.
Yeah, and then it got better for him later on that year. Commonwealth Games in Edinburgh, he won it at the time in a world record, 2:09:28. So they say you can't do world records in championships. Yeah, I think he went off at 2:04 pace that time. It was well documented. He flew off and just ran it, and he left everyone behind.
Incredible for that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And then
we're talking 51 years ago, we're talking there.
yeah, absolutely. And then to be running them times 50 odd years ago, and like I said, running 2:04 pace as well. So someone, he was obviously really just blasting it. He wanted to blast the opposition away and then just carry on and run, didn't he? So, and then he got his OBE that year as well, for services to athletics. And I think obviously won the Commonwealth Games in Edinburgh. Can't get much more special to the royal family at the time, because I know that was a very high profile one, because there was a lot of royal attendance at it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then he got another bronze medal. So 1971, really, I think this was kind of the last real hurrah, if you like. He done 1971 bronze. He got bronze in the European Champs in Helsinki, so that was again at the marathon. But he held 4 world records as well. He obviously held the marathon world record that we talked about, but he held it over 10 miles as well, 15 miles and 25k.
Incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, I love the 10-mile distance. I love it. It's just I mean, it's not quite a half marathon. You can still blast a 10-miler at full pelt. That's I love that distance. And then you got 15 miles and 25k. I mean, obviously they're the lesser recognized distances, if you like, but I think for him to hold at the time the world records for them is brilliant. I think in the 15 and the 25k, I think he got that in the same race. I think them distances are very close together anyway. So
but yeah, to run that well at a good level for 7 years, and also his early part, he's taken on the marathon and the 10,000 meters in the same championships. No one would even dream of doing that now.
No, I can't. I mean, I think the last person who really tried it, I mean, bearing in mind that how bad she felt, I think the last person who tried it was Paula Radcliffe, I think. In Athens of all places. So I think obviously it didn't go well for her, but I think that's the last person who I can think of tried it. But it's not common now, is it?
No, not at all. But he wouldn't think nothing of it, because he just all part of his love for running.
Absolutely. And just to show you how much he loved running, he'd done 115 marathons. I mean, 112 of them were all under 250. That's insane numbers. Absolutely insane. He had 29 of them under 220.
That's incredible.
You're talking 50 years ago here. That's mad. That's just mad. And then obviously 21 marathon victories as well. So you obviously got your major championship ones, and then obviously the Boston one you got in there as well. I think he then ended up touring some different countries doing marathons, and he got victories and stuff like that as well. I think I can't remember his last one, if I'm honest. It wasn't very well documented, but he's 115 marathons, 112 of them 250. That's a stat and a half, that, isn't it?
I dare say he was still doing them at a good age as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just and then then I think you know, talking about the clothing and stuff like that, you say a lot of people go into media and stuff like that. But yeah, you're quite right. He went back into the crowds. He went back to university. He went back to university and just studied, and that's how he started his business up, because he really wanted to develop all the running clothing. Because let's face it, 50 years ago it was shocking.
Yeah.
It was absolutely shocking. So, but no, I think you know, what a career he's had, and I think, like I said, every runner knows him, no matter what generation. And I don't think there's a lot of athletes that you can actually mention in that bracket.
No, not English ones to that level. That, let's say, they either disappear or go into the media, where his name will just live on forever.
No, I think so. And I think obviously with that, it's you know, I think just changing this last minute as well, because I think it's one of these where, I mean, even though this is a trial episode, it's just something that, you know, it kind of really got me when I saw it about an hour ago now. I mean, I can't believe it was only an hour ago that I saw it, and then it just had to be done. But no, I mean, what incredible achievements, and I think everyone just looked up to him, and he, I think he certainly left a legacy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, sad day for the sport, but still, as I said, he'll never be forgotten.
No,
and he'll be
definitely.
talked about for years, because, like I say, it's written there, and incredible achievements.
Absolutely. So we'll leave it there on that one. But I think, look, it's one of these where I think there's going to be a lot of tributes going to Ron Hill. I'm not sure if there's been any coverage of it, because I know there's a Diamond League meeting going on as we speak. Being a donor, I wanted to review it, but I didn't realise it was this late.
Speaking, but yeah, I dare say BBC would have but hopefully put some sort of tribute on there. If there's any sort of programs coming on, I'll definitely make sure they're recorded.
Yeah, absolutely. But are you watching any? Did you watch any of that Diamond League before we come on here at all, or?
Been done. I've sort of got caught up in the last day of football, to be honest. To sort of like
No, I know what you mean, mate. I think I mean, Leicester missed out, didn't they? Gutted. I was gutted with that.
Yeah, sort of like they've been in that top four for so long and just blown it away again.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Liverpool, Chelsea got in there as well, it's just like, oh, come on, one of them needed to miss out. Because I guarantee if Chelsea would have missed out, I think Tuchel would have gone. Even if he'd have kind of like won the Champions League, I reckon within about 3-4 games the next year he'd have gone.
Yeah, it's a very hard job, that one, to keep for long, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I must admit, I caught a couple of minutes of the Diamond League before I come on here, and Jakob Ingebrigtsen won the 1500. I mean, it was the conditions there are awful, being up north in Gateshead, and it was just chucking it. Well, to be fair, it's chucking it down here as well, to be fair. But
rain, it's just windy, so you can imagine on the track up there how tough it must be.
But no, I think there's a lot of times where it's going to appear slow. I don't think there's going to be too many world leads or anything today. But yeah, Jakob was just in full control for the whole race. I mean, it was a stacked 1500. I mean, you had four real good Aussies in there. You had Gregson, McSwain, and all that. Because I think McSwain had a really good 3K last year. I think he blew all the Kenyans away in one race last year. So I think Jakob's just a cut above at the moment at that distance, which I think, absolutely.
It's all building up for a good Olympics, and I think, like last year we were starved of sports in a lot of ways, but now we've got so much coming up. It's going to be sort of jam-packed all through the summer.
Absolutely, and I think I've already done the preps as to the events I'm interested in. So I think I'm mainly interested in like cycling, the triathlon, and obviously the athletics. I think they're the main ones I'm going to be interested in. But I've made a note for it anyway. But some
bizarre sport that you sort of get caught into that you think I've never watched before. That's the joy of the Olympics. You sort of, there's stuff you get sucked into, and you think, oh, that's actually quite worth. I mean, even like the rowing's quite exciting at times and stuff like that. You sort of like, not something you'd normally watch.
Yeah, I'd watch badminton. I'm like, give me a break. I've never watched badminton in my life. You end up watching it, don't you?
Yeah, and like you say, the triathlons, all the amount they swim and stuff like that, you just think, how do they do it sometimes? But it's good. It's good. Good variety of sport, isn't it? Not just the
Yeah.
track. You're watching.
No, absolutely. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I think obviously the amount of fixtures that they're trying to get in as well, because I think they're really conscious of they missed a lot last year. And I think some of the athletes were quite public in saying that actually it's their livelihood. They've lost a lot of money. So they're quite keen on doing a lot of fixtures this year, which I mean, rightly so. There's it's their livelihood at the end of the day. So I think there's a lot of Diamond League meetings coming up. There'll be some other continental ones as well, which, I mean, I've got a couple of results from one in the week, which are quite, how can I put it? There's some real good performances in there. There's some real scary ones, which I think, will highlight some good stuff. But I think, I'm looking forward to the Olympics. And trouble is, it's going to mess the body clock up because we're going to have to get up early.
Yeah, it's going to be like, it's difficult when it's like that. It's going to be like the World Cup in Qatar, and it's other side of the world. But say when you have the sport like people do with boxing and stuff, they get up and watch it just so they don't miss out on it, really.
No, I think what was it? The World Cup 2002. I think it is in Japan and South Korea. I think I remember being in the pub underage. I remember being in the pub. Was it about 7 a.m, 5 pints deep? I think.
I remember England getting knocked out by Brazil before it even got to work. So it's good.
Imagine that. Imagine that, going to the pub, watching the football, and then going to work.
Yeah, and have to be gutted for the rest of the day and think, what was David Seaman doing?
Yeah, we debate that all night. I mean, Ronaldinho thinks it was deliberate, but yeah. Oh man, but anyway, I think just going on to them performances. I mean, I don't know if you managed to see any results from the week or anything like that, but it was just there was some really good performances. I mean, not just from Brits, but there were some world ones as well. Did you get a chance to have a look, or is it something?
As yet, yeah. So
no, it's good. Yeah.
What sort of thing, were you looking at some good times coming out, or?
Yeah, I think I think the 800 one. So if you look at I mean the men's 800, so Max Bergen done a 1:44.14, so that broke the European under-20 record, which is also a world lead. So wow. And I think third was Jake Whiteman in 1:45.47. It was a stacked race as well, because you had Tuka, you had Kashot, Mark English was in there, the Irish guy. He's Mark English, but he's Irish. I always laugh at that. But no, I think it was a stacked field, and blew them away. I mean, them guys were nowhere, by the way. The two guys. I mean, I follow Jake on Instagram, and he's training is immense. He knows how to train. I think he's possibly going to end up going to like a regular 3K, possibly 5K later on in his career. But no, I think them two starting off really, really well, and I think as long as they can keep it up in the Diamond Leagues, then I think them, depending on what event Jake wants to do, but I think Max should be a shoo-in for the team. Because we've got quite a few 800-meter run, middle distance runners. We've got quite a few of them, haven't we? In the male side of things.
Yeah, and one or two of the ladies are good as well. So it's good to see again, because there's been a bit of a drought on that side, isn't there, for a while? So and if they're knocking out that sort of times early season,
absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I mean, just
not having the competition for some time.
Yeah, and I mean, talking about the women's 800, so I mean, I don't know if you saw any of the indoor season, but Keely Hodgkinson. So she ran 1:58 to break the British under-20 record as well. So I mean, she's going from strength to strength, and then obviously, I mean, with our 800 meter girls there. We've got so many there. I mean, obviously Laura Muir's still, I mean, we know she's a 1500, 1500 5K runner, but she's still knocking out about 157 for an 800 as well. So there's, it's so much.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see. So, yeah, let's hope they come back with a few medals. You just don't know. It's always tough with the competition, but as long as they're finals and all that, it's good, because I say we've just missed out so many times in big competitions in the last few years. So
yeah, and I think the other Brit, I mean, because there was one more Brit that was competing. He was in the 3000 steeple, so this is not something you'd associate with us as such. But I mean, the guy finished second in 820, which is a European lead, which is good. But I think it kind of shows the gap that is to the I mean, the Kenyans. I'm not even going to talk about Ethiopians or Ugandans, but the Kenyans just in this event are just phenomenal. I mean, like I said, the guy who won it was 809. That was a world lead. So I mean, bearing in mind that Phil Norman finished 820, so he got 11 seconds in between it. it just it's dominating. They absolutely dominate the event. But in terms of, I think there's a European champs this year. I think Phil Norman will be in very good shout. I think, but the steeplechase, I think that's something I'll probably give a go next summer, if I'm honest.
I've done it once and never again, with no practice. Just
no practice.
Thrown in the Southern Athletics League. Watched the women do it and thought, yeah, I'll probably do that. And then there was just disaster. So never again. I ended up with a sore grip and nearly missed the relay, but never mind.
Oh mate, yeah. Well, going on the Southern leagues, I remember. I think you end up you do your main events, and then you just thrown in for a point or something like that.
I often find myself, I'll be in the 8, and then you'd find yourself in the 15, and if it was either 3K, 5K, then you do every relay, 100 meters, 400 meters, and at the end of the day, you're just broken.
And then the day after, you got the East Anglian League or something.
or a long run, or 17-mile marathon training run or something.
Yeah. Oh no, they were the days. No, I think them days are certainly gone for me. But no, I think because I think St Albans, well, we're not doing too well track wise. We should be with some of the athletes we got, but I think a lot of our guys just end up focusing on the road. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I think because are you affiliated with anyone at the minute?
No.
Are you? You're not. Oh, okay. So because I know you were Riston.
Yeah, I was Riston, and I've ran for Durham Runners last 2 or 3 years with a lovely friendly club.
Yeah.
Doing sort of the Norfolk meetings, but I've sort of like, as nothing's been happening and I've really got any races planned, I just thought, well, I'll just run under the Renegade banner.
No, exactly. I think that's probably the wisest. I mean, I've only just renewed my St Albans membership. You know, it's been no point. And to be honest with you, I don't really know when my next race is either. So, I mean, I've got a feeling I'm going to try and get some in July, August. But I think there's going to be, just really don't know when my next race is. I'll see when the training goes, and then we'll go from there.
That's probably best till all the restrictions are lifted, and then you can really start planning. And the races being done like as proper races as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so I don't know what I'll target, but I mean, over the 3K though, I don't think I'll end up targeted anything as fast as the guy who tried to break the world record at that event, Joshua Cheptegei. What phenomenal guy. I mean, this guy is just unreal, isn't he? I mean, he's smashing world records left, right, and center, and he's going to be the next big distance guy, I think, isn't he? I don't think it's going to be.
You just look at the time and you think they haven't just broken it; they've just absolutely obliterated it.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing as well. I mean, like I said, it's one of these where sometimes in my head, I mean, it's not just some people, it's everyone. So I'm kind of thinking, well, actually, is there any foul play? Probably not. But if something a few years ago, if this would occur, then that would have been in the back of my head, if that makes sense. But
also, if they'd been Chinese or something, you'd have immediate doubt put on it, wouldn't there? So
No, absolutely. I think obviously, yeah, but I think with Joshua, I mean, he attempted the world record of 3K. I think he said, look, I got to 2K and I knew it wasn't on, so he just jogged in and won the race in a world leading. That was his words. Oh, it's just mad. But no, I think he's got a massive future, and I think there's a couple of Ugandans coming through on the track now, which yeah, it's scary. I mean, the guy who won the half marathon, was it Jacob Kiplimo, won the 10K on the night as well. He won it in 26:33. So not hanging around, is he? But yeah, he won by about 30 seconds. Yeah, he won about 30 seconds. So obviously in that race, that would have been 200 plus. So yeah, scary, isn't it? Absolutely, absolutely scary. But no, I think yeah, with that, and then yeah, we'll see what comes out of the Gateshead meeting today. But there's some real good performances coming out already, and I think, as you say, coming up for the Olympics and the other championships that are coming up. I mean, British championships as well. I think how stacked things are in Britain at the minute. There's some really good runners. I mean, our British championships are going to be really good as well.
Yeah, yeah, and you could, like you say, potentially some really good runners could miss out, and that's always been the way with the Americans, not so much the South, where they've had big runners miss out. Yeah, it could be going that way with us as well.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? I don't think there's too many athletic spots that's been chosen, but I think the marathon spots have been chosen. I mean, I think the men's were straightforward, weren't it? I mean, you had Chris Thompson, Ben Connor, and I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. That's gone right in my head. Help me.
Gone on mine as well. I could picture him, but but I can just remember the Chris Thompson run.
Callum Hawkins. How could I forget him?
Yeah.
Yeah, how could we forget him?
I'm thinking of when he was staggering in that. That was him, wasn't it? Not his brother who staggered on that.
No, he done that. Yeah, it was the Commonwealth Games when he was winning it by about 3 minutes, and then he flaked. It's conditions were awful that day, and well, when I say awful, it was too hot, but I'd rather it be too hot than what we're facing now. But yeah, I think there's that. So, but I think the women's selection, I mean, even the the marathon runners, I think, I don't think we're going to be really up there, but for Charlotte Purdue not to get selected, I thought that was a bit of a, how can I put it? That was just a massive shock for me. Considering that she's been a real championship performer. I mean, okay, she lost. I mean, she dropped out the last one, which let's face it, it was in Doha. A lot of people dropped out. You saw a lot of Africans drop out. All nations, a lot of them dropped out. It was a war of attrition that day. So if they're basing it on that, then I don't know what. I mean, she decided not to go to the trials, so that's probably the thing that's gone against her, but she had the time and had the championship performance, so that was a strange one for me. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
like they selectors sometimes get a bees in the bonnets over things, and that could have just been missing that trials.
Yeah, and then I think the only person who could have threw a spanner in the men's works was Jake Smith. I mean, I know he's probably just run the 5K today, but he ended up pacemaking the Cheshire Marathon, and he went on and won it. He went on and won it in 2:11, which is a qualifying time. I mean, madness. I mean, he ran a 1500 on the Wednesday before it.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, yeah, it's just absolutely nuts. But I mean, in terms of the content, I mean, I think the only last thing that we've got to talk about, I mean, parkrun date's been put back, as we kind of thought it would be. I mean, what is it, 26th of June?
26th of June, which obviously they're talking next restrictions, the 21st. Realistically, that might have been the better goal to have gone for in the first place, but I think they just wanted to try and get it back for everyone, but without the permission of the landowners, it just wasn't viable. So and it would have put a lot of work on all the volunteers as well. So they've made the right call, and just fingers crossed for everyone. It's only 3-week wait now after that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's definitely the right choice. And I think as long as landowners do come back, so I don't think they'll all come back, but
No.
as long as they do, and I think, look, there's there's some really good park runs out there, some really good teams organising it. So I think that first Kings Lynn Park run, that will come back. You guys gonna take over it again, or are you leaving it to the proper officials?
Yeah, we'll see what happens, comes of it. But I dare say there'll be a lot of numbers there, and a lot of the others. Bushy are, well, they get 2,000 sometimes anyway. So back.
Yeah, I keep wanting to do that Bushy one, because obviously it was the original one, wasn't it? But yeah, I'll keep wanting to do that one, but yeah, just never get around to it. But I think parkrun coming back is going to be the right thing. Obviously a delayed day, but I think it's got to be done right. And yeah, they're certainly doing the right thing. Other junior parkrun, because we haven't seen any junior park runs down where we are at the moment. Is there any junior park runs your way?
Yeah, the Kings Lynn one didn't go ahead because I think the numbers.
Yeah.
Whiz Beach went ahead because they averaged between, well, before the COVID times, they were getting about 40 something. Now they're getting like 50. So that's good to see. There's a few renegades going over every week. So even though it's a bit further for people to travel, it's still giving them a bit of competition and a bit of normality back, which is good for the kids, and a lot of them are running really well. So,
I mean, speaking of the renegades, we're gonna have, in future calls like this, we're gonna have to talk about, the renegades in detail, because I think for me, I'm just very interested at how you started from scratch. It was because from the outside in, it just looked like it was, from the start, it just looked like a running group. It's certainly just developed a lot more. It's developed a hell of a lot more, isn't it? And it's certain.
It's actually 4 years today since we did the first training session with people, and we thought like the next week was on a winner when we got 10. So
it's developed a hell of a lot, and I think absolutely, I think we've got to talk about that a lot more in the future, because I think like yourself, there's so many more running projects and just running groups out there as well, which is a lot like that. And you're not affiliated either, are you? So you're not bound to the restrictions, which is good.
Different option. I mean, running clubs serve their purpose for people who like running clubs, basically. But there's some people who will never join a running club because it's not for them. So it's an alternative to that. So
no, absolutely.
Really, yeah.
Okay, no worries. I think with that, I mean, obviously we've covered a lot of content. It's a good time to end it. So what I'll do is we'll end the recording there, and then what we'll do is we'll plan our next episode. And I think the Renegades is going to be on top of it as well. I think there's going to be a lot to review in terms of track and field coming up as well. So we'll leave it there, and we'll certainly do another episode on it.
Good stuff.
Okay.